Hi, it's Jo here, founder of Freckles, and in this week's video I want to talk quickly all about understanding the basics of challenging behaviour. Challenging behaviour is a huge topic of conversation. It's not something I can pretend to cover in any detail, but I want to give you something that I think is a really good analogy and we use in training, and also the most effective way to kind of immediately address that and how you implement your own system. So first, the analogy. I want you to think about a weed growing in your garden. Now the weed grows above the surface as a yellow and green plant, let's say, and underneath the surface is the root. Now if you were to take a cross section of that picture, you'd have the weed, kind of leafy flower bit up here, ground level, and then the root. And if you're deciding I don't want that weed in my garden anymore, you've got a couple of options. The first is that you literally mow it over with a lawnmower, where you like rip off the leaves and you get rid of it. It's great, it looks fab, but the root's still there. Or you can work out how to get rid of the top and kill off the root, and that means the weed won't return. Now, challenging behaviour, serious challenging behaviour, is just simply like that, and the reason why that's coming up. Challenging behaviour is often like an expression of how a child is really feeling. So we're seeing the top of the plant, so the weed, the flower and the leaves are the way the behaviour is coming out. Whether it's aggression, whether it's upset, whether it's door slamming, whether it's withdrawing into themselves. But the root cause of the problem is the bit that we've really got to deal with. So dealing with the top bit is the key, is the first step, and then working out how to deal with the bottom bit is the next bit. In this video, I just want to talk about dealing with the top bit. So what I think and what we have seen that works really well is there are two key decisions you need to make when working with a child, any child. And the first is you need to identify their motivator. Now, their motivator is the thing that they really want, love, engage with, something they really crave. And then you've got to work out if they are incentivized by earning something or by something being taken away. So it's very simple. Let's say a child is motivated by screen time. I think that's a fairly common one for most people. And we might have a child that's incentivized by earning time on screen time, on the screen. Or we might have a child that is motivated and incentivized by the threat of their guaranteed screen time being taken away. And that's it. That is the most important in a nutshell. Is what you've got to do is you've got to go and find your children, find out what their motivators are, and then find out how they're incentivized. And once you know that, you can implement a system around certain behaviours. So if you're just, day-to-day stuff here, we're talking about, like sitting politely at the table, eating their vegetables, unloading their kit bags, sharing their toys, having fun at bath time, that kind of stuff. These are great. It's a really simple and effective strategy to do that. And in another video, we'll talk about kind of ways you can record that, but just in a bit more detail. But things to think about, like this then feeds into kind of star charts, pebble jars, flying trees, all of that stuff that you might use to record this kind of behaviour of earning or something being taken away. But the key thing is finding the motivator, and it's also worth acknowledging that with each child their motivator is probably going to be different. So if you've got 3 children you're working with, the chances are they're not all going to be motivated by the same thing, and that's why often we sort of brushstroke and we say, oh no, they'll all have this as their kind of, they'll all earn screen time. But if you've got a 10-year-old that fundamentally isn't interested in screen time, that's not going to work. Equally, if they are not incentivized by earning, but actually the threat of taking away works better for them, then that's what you need to do. So I'd really urge you to go away, go in, take another closer look at the kids that you're working with and the systems that are currently in place. Chat to the kids, chat to the parents. It really works if you get the kids involved in it and they understand what's going to happen, and take it from there. And I will be back next week with another video on anything and everything to do with nannying, childcare and children.